Your boss isn't just underpaying you. They already have a replacement lined up to delete your entire livelihood next Monday. There is a silent financial trap 93% of workers are falling into right now. And if you don't break it before tomorrow morning, your savings won't survive. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning to find your only source of income completely gone. For millions of people, this terrifying scenario is just one corporate meeting away from becoming reality. We are taught from childhood to go to school, get a good job, and rely on a single monthly paycheck. It feels safe, structured, and completely dependable because the money arrives at the exact same time every single month. But this comfort is actually an illusion that blinds us to economic reality. Relying on one salary is the financial equivalent of walking a tightrope without a safety net underneath you. If that single rope snaps, your entire financial life crashes down instantly. In this video, we are breaking down why a salary alone is the riskiest financial move you can make. More importantly, we will show you exactly how to break free from this trap before it is too late. Stick around until the very end, because the final question we ask will completely change how you view your bank account forever. Let's dive into the hidden dangers of the single paycheck trap. For decades, society hammered the idea that a corporate job equals lifetime security. Our parents told us that loyalty to a company guarantees a stable and prosperous future. However, the modern corporate landscape has completely rewritten those old rules of survival. Today, corporations view employees as line items on a massive, shifting balance sheet. When profits dip or stock prices stumble, executives do not hesitate to cut thousands of jobs instantly. You can give 10 years of your life to a company and be replaced in less than 10 minutes. The loyalty you think you are buying with your hard work is entirely one-sided. Automation, artificial intelligence, and global outsourcing are shifting the job market faster than ever before in history. Your manager might love your work today, but a sudden board decision can override their opinion tomorrow. Job security is a comforting myth invented to keep you compliant and working hard for someone else's dream. Real security never comes from an employer. It only comes from controlling your own revenue streams. In engineering, a single point of failure is a component that brings down the entire system if it breaks. Think of an airplane flying across the ocean with only one engine powering its entire journey. If that single engine fails, the plane cannot stay in the air, and disaster is completely unavoidable. Shockingly, this is exactly how the average person structures their entire financial life. They have multiple expenses like a mortgage, car loans, groceries, insurance, and utilities. Yet, all of these mandatory expenses rely on a single, solitary source of income to pay for them. If your salary disappears, your entire lifestyle faces immediate, catastrophic collapse. You cannot pay a fraction of your rent or negotiate your utility bills just because you lost your job. Your financial system is completely fragile because it lacks basic redundancy. Diversification is a rule we apply to investing, but we completely forget to apply it to our income. Relying on one paycheck means you are always just one bad day away from total financial ruin. Even if you manage to keep your job for decades, your salary is quietly losing its power. There is a silent thief in the economy called inflation, and it steals your wealth every single day. When you receive a fixed salary, your purchasing power is locked at a specific rate for the year. Meanwhile, the cost of gas, groceries, housing, and healthcare climbs higher and higher. A standard 3% annual raise sounds nice, but it rarely keeps up with true economic inflation. This means that even if your paycheck looks the same, you are actually getting poorer over time. You are working the exact same hours, but buying less food and paying more for basic survival. A salary keeps you running on a treadmill where the speed keeps increasing, but you stay in place. True wealth requires assets that grow faster than the rate of printing money. If your income does not automatically scale with rising prices, you are slowly losing the financial game. As your salary grows over time, a strange and dangerous psychological phenomenon begins to take place. You start earning $50,000, then $80,000, and eventually over $100,000 a year. With more money, you naturally upgrade your lifestyle to a nicer apartment, a better car, and finer dining. This lifestyle inflation locks you into a psychological trap known as the Golden Handcuffs. You become entirely dependent on that high salary just to maintain the expensive life you built. You cannot afford to quit, you cannot take risks, and you cannot chase your true passions anymore. You become a hostage to your corporate title because your bills demand that exact monthly deposit. The fear of losing this comfortable lifestyle forces you to accept toxic bosses and grueling work hours. The salary stops being a reward and officially becomes a cage that keeps you trapped forever. You traded your ultimate freedom for a premium subscription to a life you do not even have time to enjoy. No matter how brilliant, talented, or hardworking you are, a salary puts a hard ceiling on your income. When you trade your time for a salary, you are participating in a fundamentally flawed equation. There are only 24 hours in a single day, and you can only work a fraction of them. Your company decides exactly how much your hour is worth, and they will rarely pay you more than that. Even if you double your productivity, your paycheck at the end of the month remains exactly the same. The excess value you create does not go into your bank account. It goes to the company owners. You are essentially capping your own financial potential based on someone else's arbitrary valuation of your worth. Billionaires and wealthy individuals do not get rich by selling their limited hours to an employer. They build or buy systems that decouple their income from their physical time. If you want unlimited upside, you have to move away from a fixed salary model. Most people do not realize that salaried employees pay the highest tax rates in the entire economic system. When you earn a W-2 salary in dollars, your taxes are automatically deducted before the money even hits your account. You never get to touch your gross income. The government takes their massive cut up front. As you work harder and earn promotions, you get pushed into higher and higher tax brackets. This means the system penalizes your increased labor by taking an even larger percentage of your hard-earned money. On the other hand, business owners and investors enjoy massive tax loopholes, deductions, and write-offs. Businesses earn money, spend money on expenses, and only pay taxes on what is left over. As an employee, you earn money, pay taxes first, and are forced to survive on what remains. You are carrying the heaviest tax burden while having the least amount of control over your financial destiny. Life does not care about your budget, your financial plans, or your steady monthly salary. Unforeseen emergencies can strike at any moment, completely dismantling years of careful saving in a single day. A sudden medical crisis, a massive car breakdown, or an urgent home repair can cost thousands of dollars unexpectedly. When you rely solely on a fixed salary, your ability to absorb these sudden financial shocks is incredibly limited. If the emergency exceeds your modest savings account, you are forced to rely on high-interest credit cards. This instantly pushes you into a vicious cycle of debt that can take years of hard work to escape. Your fixed income cannot magically expand to cover a $5,000 emergency bill when it happens. You are left feeling vulnerable, stressed, and completely helpless against the random chaos of everyday life. Having multiple streams of income ensures that an unexpected emergency is a minor inconvenience rather than a life-altering disaster. Sometimes, the danger does not come from your specific company, but from your entire industry dying overnight. Entire sectors of the economy can become obsolete due to rapid technological advancements or sudden regulatory changes. Think about what digital cameras did to the film industry, or what streaming did to traditional video rentals. If your skills are highly specialized for only one industry, you are exposed to massive systemic risk. If that industry collapses, your salary vanishes alongside thousands of other workers competing for the same few jobs. Your years of specialized experience can become completely worthless in the eyes of the modern job market. Relying on an industry-specific salary means you are betting your entire future on factors completely outside your control. Diversifying your income across different sectors protects you from the sudden death of a single economic market. You must learn to build income streams that do not depend on the survival of one specific corporate industry. The risk of relying solely on a salary is not just financial. It takes a massive toll on your health. The constant, underlying fear of losing your job creates chronic stress that slowly degrades your mind and body. You tolerate toxic working environments, unfair treatment, and absurdly long hours because you feel you have no other choice. This prolonged stress elevates cortisol levels, ruins your sleep quality, and strains your personal relationships with loved ones. You sacrifice your physical fitness and mental peace just to protect that one precious monthly paycheck. When you have no financial alternatives, your employer essentially owns your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. You find yourself trapped in a state of constant anxiety, always worrying about pleasing your superiors to survive. True wellness is impossible to achieve when your survival depends entirely on the whims of a corporate supervisor. Building alternative income streams is fundamentally an act of self-care and a reclamation of your mental health. Every hour you spend working for a fixed salary is an hour you cannot spend building your own wealth. This is known as opportunity cost, and it is the hidden price of choosing comfort over calculated risk. While you are busy executing tasks for a corporation, you are building their systems, their equity, and their future. If you invested those same 40 hours a week into your own business, the upside could be life-changing. A salary pays you just enough to forget about your own dreams and focus entirely on theirs. It provides a comfortable routine that drains your creative energy by the time you get home. You find yourself too tired to launch a side hustle, learn a new skill, or research investments. The predictable nature of a paycheck lures you into complacency, making you trade infinite potential for modest safety. By accepting a salary as your sole income, you are actively choosing to devalue your own creative capabilities. To escape the inherent risks of a salary, you must fundamentally shift from an employee mindset to an ownership mindset. Employees focus entirely on trading their limited time for a fixed, predictable amount of cash. Owners focus on creating, acquiring, and scaling scalable assets that generate cash flow completely independent of their labor. An asset can be a digital product, a profitable side business, a piece of real estate, or dividend stocks. When you own assets, you are building wealth that can work for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You stop asking how much a job pays per hour and start asking how much cash flow an asset generates. This shift requires patience, education, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. You do not need to quit your day job immediately to start adopting this powerful mindset. You just need to start using your salary to buy assets instead of liabilities that drain your wealth. The smartest way to de-risk your life is to build your safety net while you still have a salary coming in. Your day job should not be your final destination. It should be the venture capitalist funding your dreams. Use the steady cash flow from your job to fund the tools, software, and education needed for a side hustle. Dedicate just 1 or 2 hours every single evening after work to building your own brand or product. Whether it is freelance writing, building an e-commerce brand, creating digital content, or coding software, consistency is key. At first, your side hustle might only make $50 a month, and that is completely fine. Over time, those small streams compound, grow, and eventually begin to rival your main corporate salary. When your side income covers your basic living expenses, the power dynamic between you and your employer changes completely. You are no longer working out of desperate survival. You are working purely by choice. In the digital age, creating online assets is one of the lowest cost, highest leverage ways to diversify your income. Unlike physical real estate, digital assets do not require thousands of dollars of upfront capital or bank loans to create. You can write an ebook once, create an online course, or build a software template that sells infinitely. Once the initial work is completed, the cost of replication and distribution is practically $0. Your digital product can be purchased by someone across the world while you are fast asleep in your bed. This is the definition of passive income, where your earning potential is completely detached from your physical presence. The internet has democratized wealth creation, allowing anyone with a computer to reach a global audience. Every digital asset you publish online acts as a tireless digital worker, bringing money into your account daily. Stop being just a consumer of the internet and start becoming an active producer of digital value. To truly break free from the single salary trap, you must learn to make your money work harder than you do. Investing for cash flow means buying assets that put physical dollars into your bank account on a regular basis. This includes dividend-paying stocks, real estate investment trusts, or peer-to-peer lending platforms. Many people invest solely for capital appreciation, hoping their stocks go up in value 20 years from now. But capital appreciation does not pay your electricity bill or buy your groceries next week. Cash flow investing provides tangible income today, helping insulate you from sudden job loss or economic downturns. Imagine receiving a dividend check every single quarter, completely independent of whether you went to work or not. Over time, you reinvest these payouts to buy even more shares, creating an unstoppable compounding snowball effect. Eventually, the cash flow generated by your investments can completely replace your corporate salary altogether. If you want to earn money outside of a traditional job, you must master high-income skills that the market desperately values. A high-income skill is an ability that can generate $10,000 or more per month without requiring a specific college degree. Examples include high-ticket sales, digital copywriting, data science, cybersecurity, and specialized digital marketing. These skills focus entirely on solving painful, expensive problems for businesses that are happy to pay for results. When you possess a high-income skill, you are no longer dependent on a single employer to validate your economic worth. You can easily transition into freelancing, consulting, or launching your own boutique agency at any time. The market pays for the scale of the problem you solve, not the number of degrees hanging on your wall. Invest heavily in your own education, read books, take courses, and practice your chosen craft daily. Your skills are an unlayoffable asset that no corporate executive or bad economy can ever take away from you. True financial freedom is not about buying luxury sports cars, expensive designer clothes, or living in massive mansions. True financial freedom is having complete, absolute control over how you spend your limited time on this earth. It means waking up every morning and deciding exactly what you want to work on, who you want to work with, and when. It means having the financial cushion to walk away from toxic situations without worrying about next month's rent. When you rely entirely on a single salary, you do not possess true freedom, regardless of how much you earn. You are simply a well-paid tenant in a corporate system that dictates your schedule and lifestyle. True wealth is measured in time and optionality, not just the balance shown on a paycheck stub. When you have multiple independent streams of income, you unlock the ultimate luxury, the power to say no. You reclaim ownership of your life, your choices, and your personal future. Transitioning away from the single salary trap requires a clear, actionable, and systematic blueprint for your finances. Step 1 is to maximize your current corporate salary while keeping your personal living expenses completely flat. Step 2 is to channel every single extra dollar into building an emergency fund that covers 6 months of survival. Step 3 is to launch your first side hustle based on a high-income skill you enjoy practicing. Step 4 is to reinvest the profits from that hustle directly into cash-flowing assets like stocks or digital products. Do not try to build 5 different income streams at the exact same time, as this leads to burnout. Focus intensely on mastering one alternative stream until it becomes completely stable and automated before moving to the next. This systematic approach ensures you build a robust financial fortress that can withstand any economic storm. You are building a personalized economy that belongs entirely to you, brick by single brick. The biggest mistake you can make after watching this video is doing absolutely nothing and returning to comfort. Information without immediate action is completely useless and will not change your financial trajectory. The best time to start building your second income stream was 5 years ago. The second best time is today. You do not need to have everything perfectly figured out to take your very first step forward. Pick one skill, buy one book, or spend 30 minutes tonight researching a profitable digital product idea. Turn off the television, stop scrolling mindlessly through social media, and invest that time into your own future. The corporate world will continue to change, automate, and lay off workers regardless of your feelings. You owe it to yourself and your family to build a life that is completely secure from corporate whims. Take charge of your financial destiny right now, because no one else is going to do it for you. We have uncovered the hidden dangers of the single salary trap and explored the roadmap to true financial freedom. But now, the mirror turns to you, and you must face the reality of your current situation. Ask yourself this critical question. If your company went out of business tomorrow morning, how many days could you actually survive on your current savings before panic sets in? Let that number sink in deeply, and let it drive you to make a real change starting tonight. If you found value in this breakdown, please hit the like button and subscribe for more deep financial insights. Leave a comment below with the number of income streams you are planning to build this year. Thank you so much for watching. Stay financially resilient, and we will see you in the very next video.